Hello, welcome back. Welcome back if you watch the first basics tutorial. This is going to be basics 2, maybe. I'm Dane Kabika. I'm a level designer on Voxile, and I'm just going to be going over how to set up some quests and NPCs, NPCs that give you quests, and just go over some basics for the logic that we have for Voxile. First things first is I wanted to go ahead and hit tab and go to the actions tab here. Now, as you can see, there's a few things going on. I'm just going to go over a few of these. Now, first of all, you can see that this says spawn auto trigger host. So yes, it's attached to your spawn, the player spawn. And with this, it's actually attached with this host ID. So player spawn is attached to your spawn. And what that looks like, and real quick, I'm going to go to the player spawn. You can also find it in here under entities. It's this little guy here. We actually already have one. So it's always generated in your level when you create a new one. And if my guy's right there, but if you ever like lose them, you can also hit find and hit player spawn, then press teleport. You go straight to them. Okay, now I wanted to show you how this action ID, this host ID, is attached to your player. So if I scroll, as you can see, over to the properties tab or properties tool, you can hit that or left click on the player, and you can see how it's related to that action ID through the host ID. Sorry, it's player underscore spawn. So host ID player underscore spawn. So this is essentially how you like marry this this actions or the host to the entity. Where am I? There you go, properties. So player underscore spawn. So there's a few things you could do. You could like move this guy around wherever you want. Let's say I want him to spawn over here, and then I hit left click. I can actually move his rotation, and you can also turn this into a respawn. So let's say you wanted to place another one of these guys over, oops, yeah, there we go, over here. You can press the gear and turn this to respawn, and as you can see, there's a little radius. So when you walk through this, and let's say you go off and die, you'll spawn at this last place that you pass through. So you can place a bunch of these around. You could actually, now that I've placed that, do the picker and place in other areas too. As you can see, it saved those parameters. I'm just going to Control Z, go back. Kind of went off on a tangent there, but it's just to be able to show you how that relates to each other, right? So hitting tab, going back to actions. Player is actually, this is a work, as you can see here, the workbench underscore player. That's literally attached to the player itself. So if I press F10, you can go to craft. This is the workbench for your player that's on your person. So this isn't married to any like wood workbench or iron workbench. This is on your person at all times. So I could like craft a health pack and so on. And this is decided based on what the designer wants, right? So if I go back in editor mode and I have player and I have all of these things here, you could remove them by clicking negative or the minus, and then also add more things like I want a gun. Okay, I could click on this gun. I can go and change all these parameters here. I'm just going to leave it as is. You can kind of get what's going on here by moving these around and playing around with the gun, and it changes, which is great. And if I want a different gun type and so on. Okay, so this is kind of the idea of how workbenches work and how you can add more. Okay, now rather than going down this rabbit hole of showing you how all of these work and all the items you can craft and such, we're not going to do that today. I want to go ahead and show you how to craft or create an NPC and have a few prompts, and maybe that NPC goes and tells you, hey, go get some apples for me. So let's do that. Okay. I'm going to go over here. In our last tutorial, we placed this NPC. I'm actually going to delete him so we can show you how to place a new one. I'll go to load, go to entities here, and you could pick this little helmet. So this is our default character. I'm just going to place him here, and you can see that's what he looks like. If I want to change his look, I can go to properties and go through here and change all of these things. We have quite a bit of assets as far as what you want him to look like, you know. And you can hit customize and even go, you know, further into all of the customization. There's a lot of fun stuff in here. I'm just gonna leave him like that. Okay. So we have our NPC placed. I don't know if I like him in here. I'm gonna place him actually in this house with this poor lighting. All right, go to actions, and if you want to figure out how to go there, you can, if you're on like in this view, you can hit tab, go to actions, and this is this menu. Don't worry about any of these. We're gonna create a new template, okay? And if you delete any of these like workbenches, you can also add them again. As you can see, the templates are right here. So I'm just gonna add template, hit empty. All right, and you can see example name. I'm just gonna go ahead and click on that. That's the new one we created. And first thing, I'm gonna go ahead and name him. So let's change example name to Frank. Why not? All right. And this host ID here, like we said, this is what's going to be attached to the actual entity. If I were to ever like look at an entity and it's got the host ID and it's just like a string of numbers, that's fine. But sometimes I like to just rename this to the character's name so I can kind of track in here like, okay, which one's 3888 and so on. Rather than doing that, we just know his name's Frank, and then this one would be called Frank_NPC. Okay, and I just like to put NPC on there. That way it's just easy to see what he is, right? Or what the host ID is. But you can, that's a new string. If you create a new one, a new template, it's a new string every time. It's never going to be the same as another NPC and so on. So it's completely up to you if you want to rename the host ID. All right, so I'm going to grab this guy and copy, just Control C. I'm going to press tab. Oop, there we go. And left click on our character. And down at host ID, I'm going to just Control V and paste that. Okay. All right. So I go back to actions. And what does he do? His welcome text is hi. I currently have no prompt, so he's not going to do anything because I can't say anything to him. Okay. So let's add an action. So if I left click and I click this, there's action ID. That's just a string of numbers. You can name this to something unique if you want, but I, just suggest leaving this as is. And then prompt. So prompt is going to be what the player selects. Okay. So I'm just going to say, how's it going? All right, cool. And what is the player or the NPC going to say? So the response would be, none of your business. All right. Can't type with the microphone. All right, cool. So I'm just going to tab out of that. I'm going to do Control S just to save. I always like saving after changing any sort of like logic. And I'm going to go into play mode by pressing F10. All right, open this. Hey, Frank. I can press E. Hi, how's it going? None of your business. Okay, perfect. Well, he doesn't do much more than, than that. So let's do a few more things with him, okay? Let's create a quest. So I'm going to press F10 in editor mode. I'm going to press tab. I'm going to go back to this. And I'm just going to, instead of saying none of your business, I'm going to say, can you help finding the key to my house. Actually, let's do that. Key to my chest. All right. And so on this, I'm going to, I'm just going to put found. So on the next one, the next prompt, just add action. I'm going to put, I'll just put sure. And I'll put a response. Thanks. I left it somewhere outside, I think. All right. I'm going to hit another add action. I'm going to click this guy. And as you can see, if I actually go back real quick, so to the how's it going, a few things happen like when we were adding add action. Okay. So for instance, this is the first prompt, right? How's it going? If we look in here, it's activated at NPC spawn. So this is going to be the first thing that shows up. Okay. Or it's available when I talk to him. You can also go into here and also activate that, but then this prompt's also going to show up. So what we have, it's kind of a chain, right? We have effects and it says activate next. So there's nothing in conditions. I don't need a condition in order to go to the next prompt. It automatically, when I use this prompt, it's going to go to the next prompt, okay? Or he's going to say this and then so on. If I were to remove this, the dialogue would not continue. All right. So we can kind of look at this. Okay, so how's it going? Can you help me finding the key to my chest? Sure. Thanks. I left it somewhere outside, I think. All right. So it says activate next. We can actually leave that, but this is going to be the prompt when you come back. So I'm going to put I found your key, exclamation mark. Wow, thanks. All right. So I have no conditions, like, you know, maybe I need a condition to, like, if I grab this key, then I fulfill that condition, and then I can use this prompt. Okay, you get where I'm going? So, for instance, I say, how's it going? Sure. And then the next prompt's, I found your key. Well, I need to have his key. So let's go ahead and go to that action. We're going to go to conditions, okay? And we're going to require item. All right, so automatically it says health pack. That's by default. We can actually replace that. We're going to do that. We're going to search for a key. Okay, so this actually searches through our entire library. This is, if I just go back, these are all like the default prompts because this is probably the most use cases that you're going to use. But we're actually going to search for a specific item that you can pick up in an inventory. And I'm just going to type key. And I got this purple key or black. That should be purple. Anyways, let's do orange. All right, orange key. And yeah, so that's the condition. I don't have to do much more. So let's try and place this key in an inventory somewhere for the player to get it. So real quick, I'm just going to, in our current state, talk to our NPC here. So press F10, go in. Oh yes, and one thing. If you've already used that prompt in game, the state of the character will have to be reset. So usually I just reload the level, so you're like refreshing all of the like quests, all of the prompts in game. You can also press if you F10 to go back in editor. You can also go to I think it's the gear, okay, and reset NPC quest state. All right, so you could do that. You could press tab and or what is it? Ah, yes, that's in the developer page. No worries. Okay, so yeah, just do the reset like I showed you with click reset NPC quest state. All right, I'll go back into game mode, and you can see I have that prompt again. So you might want to do that every time you're testing the quests. Otherwise, you can reload your level just to have everything refresh. So, which, that wasn't like, a straight point there that I just gave you, because there's a few ways of doing it. So it's just however you like to refresh your quests. So I can go ahead and press E. And as you can see, it says, how's it going? Can you help in finding the key to my chest? Sure. All right. So I don't have the orange key. So you can see this isn't fulfilled. I can't click on it. The conditions is not met. Great. That's exactly how I wanted it. I'm going to leave and press F10. Let's go ahead and place our orange key. So I'm just going to place it in an inventory. So what I mean by that is I can press load, go to Vox, and I'm gonna type chess. So there's multiple things in our game that's has an inventory. I'm just gonna put a chess. If you've played the single player, played the demo, you might have recognized opening these in Isle of Vox. This is how you'll add a item. So I can go to the properties, left click. I'm going to add or I'm going to do search. And what's cool is it already has that search that I implemented there. Or you could, if you don't see it, you just retype it. I'm going to put orange key. All right, it's there. I'm going to press save. All right, I'm going to reset this guy's state. There we go. So now he's fresh. I can talk to him again. Press F10. Hey, buddy. How's it going? I can find your key. Oh, I don't have the key. All right, let me leave. Go out here. Hey, what's this chest doing out here? Oh, there's an orange key in it. Got an orange key. I'm going to go back. Press E. I found your key. Wow, thanks. Well, cool. There we go. That's a mission. All right, so yeah, that's your first quest. Let's go ahead and we're gonna try something a little different. So still another quest, but we're gonna have you kill some monsters in order to fulfill the conditions needed. Okay, so I could add it to him as like the next prompt, but since we'll have to test it and redo it, I don't want to have to go and get the orange key and so on. So I'm just gonna create a new NPC. So go into editor mode by pressing F10. I'm going to press tab, load entities, and I'm going to go to the NPC. All right, let's go place him somewhere else. Really love this area here. That's really cool. So place NPC here. We'll have monsters over here. So right there. All right, I'm not gonna bother changing his appearance, but I'm gonna press tab, go to actions. I'm gonna add template, empty. Call him or her Julianne. All right, you can change the voice. And I'm gonna add action. You can also name, change the welcome text, I'll just say help. There we go. All right. So then I add action example description. I'm just going to say, what do you need help with? Kill those monsters over there. All right. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and add another action and say I killed the monsters, and then just say yay. All right, there we go. So this will be the first time we're using summary. By default, if you put a condition, then it should show you the prompt, fulfill killing, kill 4 monsters. But I just want to put something else that's gonna override it. So you can see what the NPC will greet you with. Oh, wait, no, that's welcome back. Sorry. Set this summary if the response starts in quest, or leave blank to use response. Okay. So I'm just gonna say, kill those monsters. All right, so this is like the quest name that'll show up. And then I'm going to go to I killed the monsters, and I'm going to put a condition. So this condition is going to be require world change. And then this change is going to be kill all monsters. Okay, so I need to, in order to fulfill this, be able to have all the monsters with this action ID, the one right before that requirement, so this guy here, to be placed on each of our slimes or ooze. Ooh, not slimes, ooze. And press, you just left click properties. I'm going to place this action ID on the ones that we place. All right. There we go. And if you play, add the action ID on one, copy it and paste it around, it'll keep that action ID rather than having to do what I just did. But anyways, all right. So I like to save. And I'm just going to click on, oh yes, he has no host ID, or she. So I'm going to go to actions. I'm going to go to host ID. Remember I said that I like to change it to, like, let's say Julian _ NPC. Okay. That way I just know when I see it rather than just a string of numbers. I'm going to go to back to properties. So if you got out of that menu, you just go back and click left click with the gear highlighted. And I'm going to paste that Julian _ NPC. I'm just going to hit reset. I like to do that, make sure that the quest is reset, so I can talk to them since, but I haven't talked to them already, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm going to press F10, and now I can go up. Help! What do you need help with? Kill those monsters over there. Okay, you see here, it says kill those monsters. That's the summary we set. All right, and then it also shows 4 monsters remaining. All right, so I'm gonna press tab. You can see on my mini map, you see those purple things? Those are monsters. So let's go find them. Okay. Oh no, he blended in. There's one. There's 2. Hey, there we go. And now it's green. I killed all of them. Go back over to Julian. Talk to him. I killed the monsters. Yay! So I didn't get a reward or anything, which is extremely rude because I went out of my way to finish killing those monsters for him. So I'm going to go back to actions, and on I killed the monsters. Oh, there is a little bonus. I just didn't see it. So there's a little XP bonus. And typically when you have like add a requirement or a condition, it'll automatically add like the give XP, which is really cool. You can change it. You can have it depending on you how you want your XP to be distributed in your world. If like every time you use a dialogue, you get a 10 plus dialogue or 10 plus XP. This is just going to be 250. Now I can also have different effects. I can go press plus and go to give item. Okay. So health pack. Hey, maybe I need health after that. That'll be perfect. Okay. So I will also get that after completing the mission. Yeah, that's kind of the just very basics of what you can do with our logic. As you can see, there's a lot going on in here. When I click this, I can entity spawn, entity despawn. I can end the level. I could activate something else. What's cool about this is after I finish this mission and someone didn't want to talk to me, I can actually activate their action ID. And if they weren't available to talk before, now they will be. You will use this a lot if you want a progression through your map. So I could really quick show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and go back to Frank. Okay, I didn't need to physically go there, but I like to visualize them when I'm editing them. Let me go back to Frank, and I'll say hey, I helped that Julian out, and I'm just gonna say Whoa, no way. That's great. All right, so I'm gonna make it to where when you finish this quest, it doesn't say this automatically, so I'm gonna remove this activate next. Okay, so currently nothing's triggering this, okay? But if I grab this action ID, I'm gonna copy it, I'm gonna go to Julian, okay? And I'm gonna place it here. I'm just gonna remove this again so you can see where I found it. So the plus and then activate. I can paste it here and I've turned it on. So I can turn it on. Let's say this was available. I could actually turn it off. I can do it again. So that it's just this prompt's gonna continually activate no matter how many times it's been prompted. So yeah. So now when I complete this mission with Julian, Frank will now say this thing. Hey, I helped that Julian out. Okay. So I can restart the level just to show you how it looks, I guess, really quickly. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to talk to them. So I got the mission. I'm just gonna speed run this, okay? Right. Ooze, call the ooze. Alright, that was a long way of showing you how to do something, so I apologize, but alright, talk to them. I killed the monsters. Hey, talk to Frank. Hey, how about that? So let's go ahead and I'm gonna just press G, which you can fly around, which is a great debugging tool. And I'm gonna go talk to Frank. Hey, I helped that Julian out. Look at that. So yeah, there's a few things you can do with that. You can even put like a tag for a lever, like, oh, there's a door that's has a lever attached to it, or you could use that same tag to then activate that tag and open the doors up. There's quite a few things to do, but I'm not going to show that in this tutorial. Hopefully you've gathered enough to be able to get to that point, but I would also like to have a video that goes through a lot more of the different logic that we have. This has been going on a little long, so I'm going to end it here. But I really do appreciate you watching, and if you haven't already wishlisted or backed Voxile on Kickstarter, hopefully that's not over by the time we're talking. Yeah, just take a look at our other worlds. Even if you wanted to pick those apart, you can just go to the editor, and these are literally all our worlds that you can go check out and see how we've broken them down and so on. Or you can pull them apart logic wise, and how does this and that work. And if you have any questions, ask on Discord, ask on social media, wherever you can find us. Thank you for watching, and hope you have fun creating. All right, later.